Everyone, it's Kim Vopney, the fitness doula, and I'm going to go through an exercise that I give to pretty much 100% of my clients. I wouldn't say every single person, but pretty close to it. It's a exercise to release tension in the posterior part of the pelvic floor. So for people who do a lot of sitting during the day, for people who maybe stand or sit with not ideal posture, it can be a really good release for those muscles so that it makes it easier for us to maintain neutral pelvis and also let go of a bit of tension that may be causing some pain or issues such as that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a ball. You can use a tennis ball. This is a yoga tune-up ball, which I really like. They're quite dense. For some, if they have really, really tight muscles, this might be too painful for them. So something softer like a Miracle Method ball or a Franklin Method ball would also work. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the ball in between the sits bone and the anus. So in this part of the tissue right here. So I'll come up a little bit closer. So in between the sits bone and the anus, you're going to put the ball here. So when you're sitting down, you want to, from a side view, make sure that you have a neutral pelvis. So make sure you're not tucked under. So find your neutral pelvis first. Then you're going to take your ball, find your sits bone, and then move it off of the bone in towards the anus, and then sit back down. So in an ideal world, when I'm sitting on my ball, I should be able to look the same as if I'm not sitting on a ball. So you want to find your sits bone, move it in, and then sit back down. So ideally, looking at yourself, or if I was looking at a client, I should be able to see nothing, just see as if they were sitting there. But most people will sort of be tilted. It's a little bit tender, so they might not want to put all of their weight back down on it. But ideally, you want the muscle that's really tight and rigid to melt and soften over that ball, so you can sit and allow that ball to sink into those muscles. And what that does is it helps release that and relax that tension. You can use your mind also to connect with that part of your body, and you want to imagine a jellyfish floating or ice cream melting, anything that will allow you to think of softening and letting go and releasing any tension. So you want to bring attention to the front of your pelvis, to the perineum, to the glutes, anything in and around the pelvis that's holding on to tension, you want to let it go and soften. So ideally do this in a warm room. You can watch sometimes visualization of looking at jellyfish swimming or looking at fish in a tank or looking at a lava lamp can help. You want to make sure you don't have any distractions, so turn your phone off. Ideally, your kids are not going to come in and ask for some help. So take some time for yourself and really connect in with what's happening in your body so you can soften, so you can let go, and so you can release all that tension. It may take 30 seconds, it may take 60 seconds. You can stay there for a couple of minutes if you want. Beyond that, it gets to be a little bit too much. So I've been here for a little bit of time. I've not done the inward thinking per se because I've been talking on the video. But once you've done one side, take it out, and now I want you to sense what has changed from one side to the other. So in my body, I can feel more space in the left side. I can feel the surface of the chair differently. I feel like my butt cheeks are flatter. So I have made a change here. And the reason why you want to notice that is because if I do one side and then immediately go to the other, it will balance out again and it will feel kind of the same as it did before, and you won't necessarily sense what has changed. So to really connect with what's going on in your body, make sure you take a chance to sense that change. So find your sit bones, sit back down, and connect in and release. So you can do this when you're pregnant as well. You may want to use a bit of a softer ball. You can also use a rolled up towel. You can use a pool noodle. If you're not sitting on a hard surface chair, sometimes sitting on a round stability ball or birth ball can be helpful for you as well. And that will help release tension in that pelvis again, so we can help our babe settle into the optimal fetal position. And then as we're getting ready for birth, obviously we want less tension in that area so it can open and yield against, well, we need to learn how to yield against discomfort as the baby is starting to come out. So I hope you found that helpful, and we'll see you next time.